Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back with another video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. Today we have two new products to talk about. Both of them were kindly sent by friends of the channel, so if those two people are watching, thanks very much. Let's start with the soap, shall we? This is Almond Leather from House of Mammoth, formerly Mammoth Soaps, according to this label. And this is a scent that I really enjoyed. I used to own the Aftershave balm. However, I was sensitive to something in the scent, and so I had to give it away to a friend. I was later told by Ben from Mammoth that almond is a common irritant, sort of like cinnamon, things like that. And so he sort of suspected that maybe it was the almond that was giving me a hard time. So I wanted to try the soap, however, at some point to see if that would irritate me. And it seems like the soap is fine. Sometimes that can happen. I've had it where I'm can't handle the soap form of a scent, but I can't handle the splash, and then now this is vice versa. I can't handle the balm, but can't handle the soap. So anyway, I'm very pleased with the scent. This is what the soap looks like in the container. I've had varying levels of firmness with these tusk bases, but this one I can tell you is pretty firm. The scent, of course, almond plus leather, and also there's neroli and frankincense. To me, this is a beautiful scent in that cherry, almond, sort of Italian genre, but it's unique thanks to those neroli and frankincense notes. It's definitely one of those soaps I could see myself using for a long, extended period because it's nice enough, but it's not too strongly scented, and it's not too sort of weird of a scent. So that is almond leather. We'll be getting to that. And the other thing that was sent to me to try out is this brush from AliExpress. I'm going to include the link to it down below. And this is a Motherlode synthetic knot here. This is a 23 millimeter knot, and these are known for being extremely soft. If you're looking for a very, very soft synthetic knot, I would recommend this one. If you're looking for something more firm, this very well may be too soft, or it just may not be to your liking. To me, the brush is not floppy, but it is very soft. Like it's on sort of that extreme end of the spectrum. And this is just a little wooden handle, which is small, but surprisingly comfortable to hold. Because of the shape and because it's small, I can sort of grab it like this, and there's no issues hanging onto it. So we'll be talking about this brush a little bit more. And before I forget, why don't we assemble the razor, which for the third week in a row, I believe, it is still the Karve Overlander with the Knopf handle. The blade I had been using finally died, so I've got a fresh Polsilver Super Iridium in there, and that's got just a couple uses on it. Okay, great. Let's get some warm water on the face, and then we'll start building our lather. Hope everyone is doing well. As usual, how's the weather where you are? Here, I guess that was, I believe that was Monday this week. It got pretty cold overnight. It got down into the 50s. It was rainy the day before, and I think because of all that precipitation, it sort of just caused the temperature to plummet. And then today, maybe yesterday, we're back up to 85 degrees and sunny. So as I always say, this feels like this is the last glimpse of summer weather here, but you never know. It's always up and down. I hope we get a good fall this year. Last year, it felt like we kind of went straight from summer into winter, and the winters are always long, or I should say usually long here. So this is kind of where we are. We're going to keep adding some water. I've found both the soap and the knot very easy to work with. Just add water, mix around, keep adding water. Again, as I always say, I highly recommend that if you're just starting out or you're struggling to build a lather with a particular soap base for whatever reason, I always recommend that you go to a familiar synthetic knot because they're just so easy to use, and great at producing lather. Okay, so we've got a pretty good paste going there. Let's add some water straight to the top of the brush. And here we go. So like I was saying about this knot, 23 millimeters. Maybe it says in the description of the item what the loft is, but it's on the higher side. But again, I've used synthetic knots before that were floppier than this. So, like I was saying, while it is soft, it's not overly floppy for me. And also sometimes the thing people worry about with soft brushes, whether it's synthetic or Badger or whatever, is that if it's too soft, it's going to be difficult to pick up soap with it or build a really nice lather, but that just hasn't been the case with this one. The soap can take quite a bit of water, so I'm going to keep adding that in, and I'll bring you back in when I'm about to start my first pass with the Overlander. Okay, we're back, and the only thing with this kind of brush where it seems disproportionate, there's more on top than the bottom, is that it can feel a little wobbly on your sink counter, so just be mindful of that. I've almost knocked it over a couple times this week, but I haven't totally knocked it over. Okay, here's the Overlander, and let's get going with the first pass, shall we? This razor continues to feel terrific, and very happy that I picked this one up. So, for hopefully the final time, thank you, Dave, for loaning this to me at first and then selling it to me also. For some very exciting news, I just wanted to give a shout out to someone, a viewer of the channel. He and his wife just welcomed their first child together. So congrats to their family, and all the best in these first couple weeks. Not that I would know, of course, but I hear they can be a bit wild, getting used to having a kid in your space and whatnot. Another thing I wanted to ask too is if, of course, if you have your own shaving YouTube channel, you'd like to share it, feel free to leave a comment. Or if you know of a newer person to YouTube and you think they make good videos, feel free to leave a link in the comments. I'd love to check out some new people. I find myself watching the same kind of old YouTube veterans. Which is okay, but I also find myself curious about the newer things that are happening in this little hobby. Something like the Overlander is relatively new and worked out very well for me, so who knows what else I'm missing out on. Okay, first pass done, very comfy, no issues. Gonna rinse and come back for pass number 2 in just a moment. Pass number 2. Okay, pass number 2 across the grain now. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks for me, and unfortunately on the sort of downward slope. So last week and the week prior was very, very busy with work and gigs and seeing people, which was great. But now this week it's been nice to relax a little bit. I've got a gig to play tonight. But then tomorrow I have totally free, basically. And it's been nice to catch up on a little sleep. And yeah, it's just been a good balance from last week compared to this one. Some of you already know that next weekend, a small group of us will be at Maggard Razors. We did a similar kind of thing last year, actually at the same time of the month in September. So I'm looking forward to seeing some old friends and also meeting some new people. I'm going to do my best to grab a few video clips and either make a separate video with just those or sort of incorporate them into a shooting video like this one. Okay, second pass done. Rinse, and then third and final pass is coming up. Third and final pass with almond leather. Right, here's the third final pass against the grain, mostly. Hopefully I remember to mention that this brush, it's rumored that the Motherlode knot was originally a makeup brush that they sort of, I don't know, either just rebranded or tweaked slightly to be also sold for shaving. Why do I mention this? Well, I'm not sure why. Anyway, that's just something that I've heard. Maybe you'll have heard it too. Oh, I guess my point was that shaving brushes, makeup brushes, it's all the same fibers, you know, the synthetic. They're plastic, right? But there are these little differences that can make one more appropriate for one task versus the other. Everything's feeling good, very easy to buff with this soap on the residual slickness and also the razor, of course. Things feeling nice. I think those are really all the updates I can think of. Oh, someone asked how my open blade conquest was going, You know, I said I wanted to do 100 open blade shaves by the end of the year, and I'm still on track to do that. I still use the WEC twice a week. And problem is though, if you use it only twice a week, it's going to take you 50 weeks, right? So we're slowly moving along, but I'm not motivated to get to 100 any faster than I have to, if that makes sense. So feeling around, feels terrific. Very nice shave. I'm going to do my final rinse and come back and talk to you over post-shave. Stay tuned. For post-shave today, we're going to be using the Nuavia Pannacrema. I always forget which one you're supposed to say first. Rosso, red, presumably. Aftershave balm. So this one is also kind of vaguely in that marzipan sort of genre. I'm going to link the product on their site in the description. This has a bunch of notes, and I couldn't possibly remember all of them. But I really like this formula for this balm. It's pretty thin, and I think is very suitable for wearing a balm in the warmer months. You know, I would love a fragrance form of the scent. I think it's terrific. Kind of tends more on the sort of licorice side to me, but it's still kind of in the same family. You know, those Italian red scents are, you know, you can kind of pair them together and not be too worried. So that's the Pannacrema. There it is. Rosso aftershave. Very nice. And to recap the other items, we use the Karve Overlander. Loving this razor. The Wolfman Titanium, that used to be sort of my everyday razor, but that's gone away for a little bit. So maybe once that comes back, I'll have to do a side-by-side, because I do enjoy both of those razors quite a bit. And the soap, House of Mammoth Almond Leather, or if your autocorrect is bad, Salmon Letters. Thanks again to my friend who gifted me that. And also the Motherlode brush. Very nice. Really enjoy that. A nice contrast from the Wolfman synthetic brush. Smaller knot, much softer, light handled. So kind of the opposite in those categories, right? Okay, great. So thank you all so much. If you made it this far in the video, probably no video next week because I'll be traveling and I'll be at Maggard Razors, but hope to provide some nice footage after the fact. So for now, this has been HD Shaves. Take care, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.